Something that is a staple in theme park entertainment today is a character meal. You can find character meals all across Universal Studios Florida and the Walt Disney World Resort. For those who have never indulged in this type of dining, a character meal is when you eat at a restaurant and various characters come to your table and interact with you during that meal. A little bit more about it. Let's go back to 1975. The resort proved to be successful, so Disney decided to open the Lake Buena Vista Shopping Village. This is what later became Downtown Disney and is now Disney Springs. It was a shopping district at the Vacation Kingdom of the world. A home run idea, right? Wrong. Lake Buena Vista Shopping Village was not a success upon opening. Many guests didn't want to go there due to the lack of interest in the shops, and some guests just didn't know it had anything to do with Disney World due to the lack of Disney in the name. A few years later, in 1977, Disney knew they needed something in Lake Buena Vista Shopping Village to draw visitors. Another thing Disney wanted to improve upon was the crowd levels during Christmas. This was before the chaos that is Christmas at WDW today. So they decided to fix both problems with one solution: create a breakfast with Santa. The idea was that guests could dine with Santa Claus during the holiday season. This opened during the holiday season of 1977 at Empress Lily, which is now Paddlefish. And this offering was a smash success. So much that Disney decided they needed to offer it year-round, but it wouldn't make sense to have it with Santa. So instead of Santa, Snow White will replace him for the rest of the year. The concept expanded around Disney World. The first real character meal as we know it today took place at Coconino Cove at the Contemporary. This meal was a brunch on Sunday mornings and didn't require a reservation. Another character breakfast was Minnie's, I'm sorry, I might butcher this, it was Minnie's Menehune breakfast at Papit Bay Veranda, which is now Ohana, at the Polynesian. Sometime in the early 80s, a character breakfast came to the Village Restaurant at the Walt Disney World Village. The Village Restaurant was where the Rainforest Cafe is now. In 1986, a show was created that featured Melvin the Moose from Country Bear Jamboree. The show happened in the morning and also featured Alabama and Cindy Lou and took place in the Wilderness Hall at Fort Wilderness. Eventually, this breakfast show was replaced by Chip and Dale and closed in 1991. The Cape May Cafe opened in 1990 and features a character breakfast. Crystal Palace in Magic Kingdom also started doing a character breakfast during the 90s. Another in-park meal started at Tusker House in Animal Kingdom. In 1989, the character breakfast at the Village Restaurant was renamed as Chef Mickey's. This character breakfast was a huge hit. Mickey Mouse would walk around the restaurant and meet guests while they dined. This location moved to the Contemporary Resort in 1996. The character breakfast now features Mickey, Minnie, Donald, Goofy, and Pluto. Back in 1982, a restaurant opened in Epcot in the Land Pavilion called the Good Turn Restaurant. This restaurant rotates slowly and guests could see scenes from the Listen to the Land boat ride, now called Living with the Land. The Good Turn changed its name in 1986 to the Land Grill Room. It stayed with this name until 1993 when it was renamed to Garden Grill. Garden Grill is a character restaurant and offers character meals called Chip 'n Dale's Harvest Feast. The characters you can meet here are Chip 'n Dale, Mickey, and Pluto. In 2019, character meals expanded from just breakfast to be all meals. Many of these character meals are praised for their character interactions, but there is often a detail that's left out when considering a character meal. Is the food any good? I set out to find out. I chose two restaurants to compare: Chef Mickey's at the Contemporary Resort and Garden Grill at Epcot. So let's enjoy this meal, and I'll give my thoughts right after this. Hey you, do you live in Disney World?
Nope.
Exactly. Do you wish you lived in Disney World?
No, not really.
Well, that doesn't matter. This video is brought to you by Magic Candle Company. I love these scents. I have these candles burning all the time in my office while I'm making these videos and writing these scripts. I've been a customer of Magic Candle Company for a long time. My favorite scent is probably Flying Over Africa. They are so authentic and smell exactly like the actual attraction. It's insane. I personally recommend going to magiccandlecompany.com and getting one of their bundles, because you get 4 of their magical fragrances, either the candle bundles or the fragrance oil bundles. I personally love, and I know you will love them too. And check this out, I have a deal for you. If you buy any product, you can get 15% off if you use my code BigBeautifulDiz15 for 15% off your order. Just put it in the discount code. It'll work. You can save some money. And thank you so much to Magic Candle Company for sponsoring this video. Again, BigBeautifulDiz15. Go to magiccandlecompany.com. Thank you, and back to the video. So the first restaurant I went to was Chef Mickey's at Contemporary. I need a reservation for this. I think I got a I don't like breakfast I shouldn't say I don't like it. I don't eat it very often. But I believe I got a reservation for 10:30 in the morning. Very long wait. I had to wait. I got there around 10:20. It wasn't until around 10:45, I believe, that I got sat down. So not taking any points off of that, just saying it's popular. So Chef Mickey's is a buffet. You get up, you go, you get your food. It was a concern of mine. I'm missing the characters. Thankfully, that's not a concern, because they do come around and make sure the characters did the full rotation and you don't miss anybody. And if you did miss anybody, they'll just go get the character for you and bring them back. I believe I didn't get Donald and Goofy, and I told the waitress, and she was like, "I'll be right back," and she got them for me. So very cool. So the meal itself, ask for Pog juice. Many of these places have Pog juice. I love it, so I got it both here and Garden Grill. It's fantastic. I also had the scrambled eggs. Didn't really like the scrambled eggs. I don't think it was very good. The biscuit tasted exactly like Red Lobster, which is not a complaint, because the Red Lobster biscuits are banging, but just very interesting. I got the ham. That was very good. I do have to give them the ham. The scrambled eggs, I don't really know why it wasn't very good. I'm concerned about how they messed up scrambled eggs. They did not mess up their omelet. Their omelet was excellent. Their omelet was, besides the Mickey waffles, their omelet was probably the best thing on this menu, at least that I had. The steak and eggs was atrocious. The steak and eggs, I don't think are made with real eggs, because it was god-awful. I took 2 bites and stopped eating it. It was that bad. Do not get the steak and eggs. Easily the worst thing I had that entire morning. The Mickey waffles are Mickey waffles, golden crispy. Gotta love Mickey waffles. Bacon, soft but crispy at the same time. I like my bacon soft and crispy. I don't like bacon that is very hard. I don't know many people that like bacon that's very hard and you know, it's like eating a piece of beef jerky. Bacon was not like that, and I'm happy to report. Something that I thought was cool, they do these dance parties every once in a while. Mickey will come on a voice will come on the speaker, and they'll play music. They'll get the kids from certain tables in your section. There's 3 different sections in Chef Mickey's. There's the left, the center, and then the right, and then the breakfast is the buffet is also in the center. They also had breakfast desserts like muffins and stuff like that. I didn't have any of that, but it looked good. It looked like good fruit. I did take a banana. So they have these dance parties in the different sections. I thought that was really cool. I thought that was a cool piece of entertainment. Also, great views. Very cool view of the monorail that I had from my table. I was watching the monorail go in and out when I was eating. Character interactions were really cool. Since I was alone by myself, a lot of the characters came up and had very good interactions with me. Mickey sat. I wanted to get a picture of this. I didn't. I wasn't quick with my camera enough, but he actually came over and sat down, and I started talking to him about, because I think he saw the notes app that I had open, and I was taking notes, and he pointed to it, and he like gave a thumbs up. So he wanted to make sure. I think at least I wanted to make sure that I was going to have a good review. Which I got to be honest, Mickey, unfortunately, very mediocre food. I can see why this place is popular because of the kid aspect of it. And if you have little ones, this is a fantastic place because you get the classic characters that everybody wants to meet right there. But the food is just not it. I mean, the omelet that I had was excellent. The ham was very good. Mickey waffles are Mickey waffles. Pog juice, can't complain about that. But then the things that I didn't like the scrambled eggs and the biscuits is somewhat, it's just god awful. So like the omelet compared to the eggs, the steak and eggs, completely different ends of the spectrum. And you got to be consistent. In my opinion, you got to be consistent. You got to have either good food or bad food. And for the $60 price point that this is, the omelet was good, but it was not that good. So I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10. I feel that's fair, middle of the road for Chef Mickey's. And again, just very mediocre. So if you're going there for the food purposes, pick a different restaurant because there's better ones on Disney property. Now, the second one that I went to, Garden Grill. Oh boy. I love Garden Grill. And this is the first time I've ever been there. So this is not bias at all because I've never been there in my life. But now I like Garden Grill a lot. Their cinnamon rolls, excellent. Excellent cinnamon rolls. Great way to start off the meal. They bring them piping hot to you right away as soon as you greet your server. Unbelievable. Watermelon, very juicy. But those cinnamon rolls might have been the second best thing I've had on this entire research. I won't say research trip, but this entire meal, this one especially. But compared with Chef Mickey's, adding that into the equation, the cinnamon rolls might have been the best thing. The eggs actually tasted like eggs. These were real eggs. I'm convinced, and there's probably somewhere online that says this, that confirms this. I don't know. But I don't think the eggs at Chef Mickey's with the steak and eggs are real. Because the eggs at Garden Grill are completely different. They're a lot better. They taste like eggs. They're really good scrambled. The steak that comes with it, very good, very thin. It was almost like a piece of deli meat. And for breakfast steak, for me, breakfast steak has to be different than lunch or dinner steak. Or I should say dinner steak. Because I don't know. I don't eat steak for lunch. But completely different, right? A dinner steak for me has to be very thick, very juicy. The steak during breakfast, completely different. I want it to be thin. That's exactly what it was. Very good breakfast steak. Mickey waffles, again, are Mickey waffles. They're very good, very golden crispy. Absolutely love it. The potatoes, very fluffy, very good. And then the bacon. The bacon was hard. The bacon was probably the worst thing that I had on this meal. Very disappointing. I don't know if it was overcooked to my liking. And, I mean, this could be different for other people's experiences. But, again, the bacon for me was very hard. And I was very disappointed by that bacon. They did come around and make sure that the characters did their rotation again, which was very nice. You get excellent view. You get really cool views of Living with the Land. And it's kind of cool because you're kind of quote-unquote behind the scenes. You can see things that you can't see on the ride, like the house, the farmhouse. Actually, if you look inside the bedroom, it's actually modeled after Walt Disney's bedroom, and you can't see that from the ride. You can only see it at Garden Grill. And Garden Grill is a buffet, but it's a sit-down buffet, so they bring the food to you. You don't have to get up and risk missing the characters. But if you do miss any of the characters for whatever reason, they do come around constantly. Chef Mickey's, because of how big it is, they only came around once. I saw Mickey, I believe it was, 3 times during this meal, and I was probably in there for 40 to 45 minutes. It was around there. So they come around constantly. You get multiple interactions, which I thought was really cool. They almost become like your server. I like the feel of that. I like the aspect of that because that's what the feel and the theme is supposed to be, right? That they're your server, and it makes it really feel like it here. So Garden Grill, it does have excellent food, and was it worth $60? Yes and no, because the cinnamon rolls, the eggs, and the steak, I would say are worth it. But again, $60 is a lot for breakfast. And I'm a person that I don't eat breakfast very often, if ever. This was probably the first time in years. Well, this was the first time in years that I've had breakfast. And I'm also a person that I believe at Disney, you should not have a big meal for breakfast. So that's why I say it's yes and no, worth the price point. For me, it was worth it at that moment. Now, still worth it. I had a good time. So, excellent food, excellent character interactions. I'm going to give this a 9 out of 10. It was an unbelievable meal, and I recommend Garden Grill. Let's talk about the characters. So their outfits. You can meet Mickey, Minnie, Donald, Goofy, and Pluto at Chef Mickey's. They're all dressed up in chef attire and kitchen attire. Very cool outfits. I had cool interactions with Donald, Goofy, and Mickey. Pluto, as always, is great, and Minnie. But those three really stood out. Mickey, like I said, came over, sat down with me. Donald, I was talking about him being the best. And then at Garden Grill, you can meet Chip and Dale, Pluto, and Mickey. All of those characters were great. Great interactions with all of them at that restaurant. And they're all dressed up kind of like farmers. Pluto, you're going to see this picture right here. Pluto was really cool. He gave a really cool pose for this photo. I always like to scratch Pluto because he's a dog, you know. He always seems to enjoy it. Chip and Dale always come around and try to steal your food, which I think is really cool. I had a memory. I went to Chef Mickey's a while ago, back when I was very young, like 3 or 5. And I remember Pluto tried to steal my cousin's drink, which I thought was great. So very good character interactions. Excellent, really, because that's essentially what you're paying for. But because of that, Garden Grill is going to take this. Because I feel like Garden Grill has excellent food, excellent character interactions. You get... Now, Chef Mickey's does have the Fab Five, but Garden Grill, you're still getting Mickey, you're still getting Pluto. So those eliminate 2 characters that have high wait times out in the park. And the food is also spectacular, and the environment spinning around is also very cool. So Garden Grill wins this battle hands down. Now, walking around Garden Grill was really cool because it's constantly spinning, and it's just a really cool. And it's not fast at all, obviously. You don't want to be eating food on a spinning thing really quickly. But I definitely like the Garden Grill, because the ride is right there. I definitely like the Garden Grill aspect more than Chef Mickey's. That's kind of tough, though, because you do have the monorail view, but the ride view does... The whole ride aspect is really cool. Anyway, if you've ever eaten at any of these restaurants, let me know in the comments. Let me know if you've had any interactions with character meals or anything. And I'll see you all in the next one.